Draw My Life by Zachary. So I was born in Dallas, Texas on February 12th, 1996. Here's my family. That's my dad with his goatee, and he has a chef hat because he's a chef. Then here's my mom with her curly hair. And then there's me. And you can tell that's me because I have a crown on my head. And then there's my little sister Taylor, who's just for the most part annoying. But yeah, that's my family. And after living in Dallas, we moved to Cattle Mills, and we had this awesome house. It was so cool. I love that house so much. It's where I probably have all the best memories. And it looked exactly like that, pretty much. And we had all these animals. So we had like 2 goats. Like, we lived in the country. And we had a million cats. Like, we probably had like 15 cats, and they either all died or ran away. So yeah, we were not good at keeping cats. And then we had my dog Levi. And I just always remember in the summer we would play football with my dad, me and my sister. And yeah, that's what we did all summer pretty much. And we were really aggressive. So in 6th grade I went to Cattle Mills Middle School. And I just remember this one day my dad took us to Sonic, me and my sister, and was like, oh, get anything you want. And I was like, whoa, this is awesome. So me and my sister and my dad all got sundaes, and I was like, oh, whoa, this is so cool. We get sundaes and we're going to the park. This is the best day ever. But it turns out that day is the day my dad told us my parents were getting a divorce. So it actually turned out to be the worst day. And it's the only time I've ever seen my dad cry, so it was probably the worst day I've ever had, probably to this day. I just remember the next day at school, all these people would come up to me and be like, what's wrong, Amber? Because I was crying all day. And I'd be like, nothing. And they'd be like, okay then. So they were really rude, and I ended up not telling anyone all through middle school. I only told my 3 best friends, which were Sam, Melissa, and Casey. And without them, I do not know what I would have done, because they're the ones that got me through everything. And so we were like the best friends, the little peas in a pod. And I remember we would get these emails. We actually had a stalker in 8th grade, and I can't read the emails because they had a lot of cuss words, but they were really mean, and they would threaten us with all our secrets. And I remember one time I checked my backpack in one of my pockets, and I had a note from KT, and it was like, I know who you like. And I was like, oh no, everyone's gonna know who I like. But no one ever found out. And to this day we never found out who KT was. But in 8th grade, in the middle of 8th grade, I had to move to Rockwall and say bye to all my friends because of my parents' divorce. And yeah, it was a terrible day. And so freshman year, when I moved to Heath, it sucked. I hated Heath so much. I remember sitting at my lunch table with all these girls, and they were nice and everything, but I didn't really fit in with them, and they would tell all these jokes that I didn't think were funny, and they would all be like, oh, we're all gonna hang out, except me. They obviously did not include me in anything. And I just hated Heath so much because in Caddo I was this big fish in a tiny pond, and now I was this really tiny fish in what felt like an ocean, and I was so confused. I didn't understand, and I was like, why is this happening to me? So me and my sister and my mom lived in a little cottage, and it really was like a little cottage because it was a super tiny house, but it was really cute. And during this time, I think this is when me and my sister stopped arguing all the time, and we became more like best friends because we both hated our school, so we only had each other. And we'd spend our time just always by the pond outside with our dog, and my dog liked to swim, and he was a Shih Tzu, so that was kind of weird, but that was my dog. And I spent most of my Saturday nights on Skype or talking on the phone. Like, I never went out. I always just was on the computer on my phone. And my sophomore year equally sucked as my freshman year. Probably even more than my freshman year. And I just remember one day all these girls were wearing Nike Tempos and shorts and shirts, and I was like, whoa, I'll wear Nike Tempos one day and I'll be just like them and then I'll fit in. That was my bright idea, and no, it did not work. And during my junior year, I got my first job, which was awesome because I stopped focusing on school as much and I started focusing more on my job. So I stopped caring, but like as much as I did in freshman year. And you guessed it, I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, or maybe you didn't guess it, but I was an awesome mouse. And yes, I was the mouse all the time, and I liked being the mouse because I was really good at it. And I went through all these tickets, and I had a special dance I would do. And if you came into Chuck E. Cheese and you saw Chucky doing this dance, that meant it was me, because that was my special dance, and no one else could do it. And I was a cashier, but I was also the girl who greeted everyone at the door. And this was when I realized I do not like kids. Like, I am never going to have kids because kids are super annoying as I greeted them. But it was okay because I was making lots of money. Like, I was banking at Chuck E. Cheese. And I made so much money that I was able to buy my first car named Lola. And it was awesome because me and my sister could drive everywhere. I was so independent and I had all this money and I was able to go see my friends. And then senior year comes by, and senior year has been okay, I guess. I pretty much stopped caring about what everyone thinks of me, and I dressed the way I wanted to, and it turns out that it's for the best because now I've actually started to make friends now that I've stopped caring. I wish I would have known that all throughout high school, but yeah, now I have friends, so it works out. Later I got another job at Cotton Patch, which is literally right next to Chuck E. Cheese, like right next door. And I met all these amazing people, and I met so many people, and I made all these friends, and I'm a server. I learned so much responsibility, and I still make a lot of money. So life's been pretty good so far. And as for the future, I have no idea. I know I want to go to college, but it's just kind of up in the air where I'm going and everything. I just know as long as I have my family with me, I can do anything because they've been with me this whole time and they support me for whatever I do. And that's my equation to a happy life. So now I pretty much just go with the flow, and that's me, just going with the flow. And it's worked with me so far, so yeah, continue to do it. And then I just want to say special thanks to Lauren Stilly and Chloe Miller, because without them, I would not have been able to make this video. So thanks, guys. In the end.